I just had to share that baby did the cutest thing ever. She had a muffin and she went in the living room and then she came in to get me and I was like, oh no, did Putty get your muffin? And we ran in there and it was gone and I was like, did you eat your muffin? Or did Putty eat your muffin? And she was like, and then like lifted up her shirt and pointed to her tummy. So the message is she ate it. Here's what I want to say. Because I know that finances. I just can't get past it, people. I want to fully explain. I think I have, but then I'm not sure if I have. And so, you know, like if people have been reading from last year, you might be like, wow, you know, how are things like this bad suddenly? Well, I think things are this bad suddenly for a lot of people, but a lot of bad luck, people. But here's what I want to explain, just to be completely upfront. We still have money invested, some small amount. We had to use some. We've had some savings, some money invested. We have had it all invested. Unfortunately, not in cash. You know, the whole thing was to try to let it ride out, and make as much money as possible. It's in kind of more high-risky type investments, which is unfortunate now. And because this whole time that I have been staying home, we've been on one income. We've been on one income that was never quite, unfortunately, just never quite ended up being enough. We thought it was going to be enough before we moved to Ann Arbor, and then it just never did end up being quite enough. So, what? Your muffin? Did you eat your muffin? Then it's gone. It's in your tummy. Do you want some rice? Yep. Where'd your muffin go? Did you eat your muffin? Putty ate your muffin? Oh no. Do you want some rice? Okay. Oh, all the other muffins are gone, but you can have rice. Your what? Okay. Anyway, so we've ended up having to supplement often Mr. F's income to make it through a whole year. Now, yes, in hindsight, retrospect, did we need to have spent, like, if we had been living our life more frugally, that would not have had to happen. But at that time, like I said, that is the decisions we made at the time, and whatever. There's no going back, and, there's no reason to. What can you do? So that's what happened. So we were like eating out of these investments all the time. Well, then we moved here, and in order to move here, which was an expensive move, lots of stuff happened where we had to front all this money, and then his company paid us back, but that money was taken out of the investment. This is how it goes. Anywho, then we get this job, there's no retirement benefits, and then we don't get the bonus, and then there's like a, raise freeze and all this stuff. So basically, and then we have the tuition, we're suddenly backed. We moved this move thinking this was going to be the right move for us to finally live off one income, and we're suddenly back to not being enough. Well, we still have this little, thing of investments, but they're all in stocks. Well, of course they're tanked, folks, and taking out of them now would be like, stupid. So I just want to say that while we are, I want to acknowledge we're not in as bad a position as many people. It is still stressful because we don't have the opportunity to save any money or have any kind of retirement fund. So we really need to pretty much put those investments on lockdown, because I think they're saying it's going to take 15 years for those to recuperate to where they were before. So, we of course had hoped, we'd have 15 years of growth. But that's the way investing goes. So, there's no hard feelings about it, but we need to, at this point, it's critical. In order for us to have any kind of retirement fund for Mr. F, we need to not touch that money, period. So, at the same time, it's there. We will use it if we must. But I'm not going to use it to bail us out of the situation we're in now, because I think because we have no other income and no other means of support, And plenty of people are losing their jobs, and Mr. F is in a relatively unsafe line of work. I think that it would be really unwise, and that we need to leave that, because if Mr. F lost his job, we would be screwed, folks. Totally screwed. So, we need that little cushion. Susie Orman, what does she say? You need 8 months. Really, you should have an 8-month safety net? So, that's what I'm talking about. We have to leave that. So, that's what's going on. So, I just want to be clear, because if people are like, the last year you guys had investments, 401k, and you had 529 programs, we have all that, but we're not, no money's in there now. We're not adding any money to it, and it's worth half what it was before. So, I just want to be totally clear. And, reality is, unfortunately, with Mr. F's line of work, it's one of those things where magazines go under all the time, people. So it's not the safest possible situation. So I think it's important, and it's because of that. It's because of all those circumstances that we are willing to sell a car before taking the investments out, because we really need to find a way to live on this income. And there's a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas. If we were clairvoyant, we would have not bought this house. I mean, we like this house, but we moved from a downturned housing market in Michigan to an expensive location. We downsized and we bought this house, but I think we should have rented, honestly, so that we could have had a cash cushion. But we didn't know then. At that time, we didn't think we were going to have private school tuition, and we thought we'd be getting a bonus. So, you don't know what you don't know. And at that time, we thought this was a wise investment because we have an extra lot. But no one's buying. Then of course everything turned down here. So no one's buying things like that. So at that time, we thought that was a wise investment. Only time will tell if things turn around. So that's that. I mean, Mr. F, sometimes we think about selling this house, but I think we would sell at a loss. And there, houses are now coming up for sale for way cheaper than when we looked at them even 6 months ago. And you just want to be like, how did this happen to us? This keeps happening. But even if we came out even on this property, there's going to be moving expenses. All the same stuff is going to happen. It's just not worth it. I will say, when my house came, can you believe that? That our house in Ann Arbor is back on the market? It's one of those things, kids still sometimes cries at night and wants to go home. And then you're like, what are the chances? That would never, normally happen. That you could actually just turn around and buy your house back. And if it was really cheap, people, there's a part of me that would probably be lobbying for that. But she's asking way too much. But then I was looking at other houses in our old neighborhood, and some of them are crazy cheap, and you're just like, in a way, we could sell this. If we could sell this house and then move back there and buy a house that was significantly cheaper than this house now, maybe we could get to a good group. But this is what we got. This is where we're at, and we've got to make it work. What the heck? Did she take that plate of rice? Oh no, I have it. So that's the scenario. That is the deal. Trying to make it work on this income. Which, people, we should be enough money. But we moved to North Carolina, which has one of the highest income taxes in the country. So you have that screw job going on. You baby! So, our take-home income isn't quite as great as it would be. It is what it is, folks. And obviously, I'm just doing what I can do to make things as... Are you starfish? so that we can still have a stay-at-home parent, so we can still eat the way we want to, and that's all I can do for now, you know.